Dear sweet baby Jesus, please tell me that there is sound. Is there sound? Please tell me that you can hear me. Because if you can't hear me, I'm going to cry. Is there sound? I'm watching the chat because, it lags. So I'm going to see. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? You hear me? Yay! This is my dork face that you can actually hear me. This is amazing. Samson Farm says they can hear me. Yay! This is great. This is awesome. I have no idea what happened, you guys. No clue. I think it's like the beginning of like Friday the 13th week. And so it just decided it was just going to be crazy or something. I don't know. So now we just have to get everybody over here. I'm sorry for that insanity. I don't know like what happened. I restarted the computer. I changed some stuff around. It was trying to grab a microphone. I don't even know what microphone it was trying to grab. There should be something way stronger in my cup for tonight because this is just coffee. And it probably should have been way stronger for this night, but we are here. Yay, right? This is good. Yay. All right, so we got people. We got making lemonade from lemons. We got Mindful Homestead, crossing the fingers. Thank you for cheering me on. Let's see, Rockin' A Farm, you are here, causing all the trouble, getting people riled up. This is good. Copper Kettle Farms, Beth Parsons, the Lears. Oh my gosh, all the people are here. They're like, they found me, and this is great. This is awesome. This webcam is like really close. I feel like I need to be like way back here, but that's too far away. So, okay. All right. So here we are. This is great. It's kind of been one of those crazy days. I know we had the daylight saving time, like losing that hour of sleep. And so that was exciting. And I got up because I couldn't sleep in because I had choir practice today and I had church. And so I come down to get into the shower, and my son, who is never up early, he is in the shower, and he takes really long showers, you guys, like super long showers. And so I knock on the door, and I'm like, I need to get in there. Yeah, and he had pretty much used all the hot water. So my day started with a cold shower. I came home from church, and we are like mud, like soup. We live in the middle of a soup right now. And so it's been a day, and then trying to get this to work, and it's crazy. But hey, I'm through it, right? It says it's buffering. Is it buffering for all of you? Chris says, I'm his favorite Canadian. You guys, I'm not Canadian. I'm just Minnesotan. I'm not far. Wow. Okay, so I didn't realize how much of an accent I had until I started podcasting. And people would say, oh my gosh, you have such a cute Minnesota accent. And I'd be like, I don't have an accent. You have an accent. You totally have an accent. But I do have really long O's. Oh, Minnesota. And I didn't realize that till I started my podcast. And now that I do video, I'm like, wow. So Chris teases me about being a Canadian. I'm not quite that I don't want to say bad, but I'm not quite that far up there. We are only 5 hours from Canada. So our cabin is very, very, very close to Canada. So stone's throw away. So that's fun. What do we got going on here? Beth says that I don't have an accent. It's normal. See, it's fine. It's totally fine. I'm so glad that everybody's here and that you are great people because you waited this out and you worked through it. And now we're here. This is awesome. So I was planning to have this go till 9 because, an hour is a good time for a live. And I like to be respectful of people's time and all that. And here's the thing, 9, you guys are going to laugh at me, but 9 is actually kind of late for me. I am one of those early morning people. I'm kind of like that 80-year-old woman, kind of in a not 80-year-old woman's body, and I'm ready for bed early. I get up between 4 and 5 in the morning, so 9 o'clock is like, whoo, it is time to go to bed. But we might go a little bit later tonight, just because we had that little issue in the beginning. So, oh, let's see what's going on. Copper Kettle Farm loves mornings. Yes, I'm all about morning. Man, this chat is moving fast. It is, let me tell you, it is so weird to be in here, like, because I watch a lot of lives, but I've never been live on YouTube. I've done lives on other things before, but not on YouTube. So this is a totally different thing. Like seeing this whole setup from this side, y'all are probably laughing at me, being like, "What? You are insane. You're an insane girl. What can we talk about?" I didn't have a lot of topics for tonight because I wanted to make sure I knew how to do this. I didn't know we were going to run into this microphone issue, but yeah. I did write down some things. I already told you about the mud. You guys, oh my gosh, there is so much mud. Some of you know we had a big, huge well issue last year. And so our whole yard got dug up and, well, pretty much the whole yard. It was done in one section. We had, it's a big, long story. We pretty much needed to redo the well. And when we dug down to it, we realized it hadn't been touched since like at the 40s. I mean, it was due to be redone, and a line broke, and then we dug in and we thought it was going to be like not a big deal, and it really was a big deal. And so it turned into this huge, expensive project. Well, that when you dig up your yard, it leaves dirt, right? And we have clay. We're almost all half of the yard. And yeah, it was not good. And then it snowed. Like that was the end. So now that we have everything melting, it's so bad out there, guys. It's so not good. Do you guys have a lot of mud where you are? Are you still dealing with snow, or some of you are like, what, snow? What do you have out there? I see that it's buffering a lot. I don't know why it's deciding to buffer. This is crazy. Here's what I think. I think the powers that be are trying to work against me. And they're like, you should not be doing live. No, don't do that. And so it's going to give us all the problems this first time, and then we'll be in the clear. That's what I'm going with. Oh, someone, was it Mindful Homestead, just said, yeah, mud pit. Mm-hmm. Yes. Copper Kettle has some mud. Our cabin in the woods, you don't have any snow or you don't have any mud? No snow and no mud is great. It's crazy because, we have so much snow, and then it's like we forget that in order for the snow to melt, we have to go through that mud season, to get to the grass season, we have to go through the mud season, and it just feels like really intense this year. But we did see our first robins yesterday, so that is exciting. That means, spring is going to happen. The mud is going to come, and, the robins are here, so it's good. It's good. It'll be exciting. What do we got going on here? Beth says, no snow and no mud, just wind. We had a lot of wind here the last couple days. Insane. Galir says, we have had lots of rain and some mud in places. The chicken pen is horrible. Yeah, it's crazy. And there's nothing you can do about it when it's that wet and that muddy. It's like you just, and if you have dogs who happen to live in the house like I do, and then they go outside and they're like, this is so amazing, I'm so excited, and you're like, oh my gosh, you're such a mess. That's the season we're in right now. So yes, Ridge Life, yes, we have sound. The third time was the charm. What the heck? Me and you says, is it my internet or is it frozen? I don't know. Every once in a while I get a thing up in the top that says it's buffering, so I don't know what the deal is. It's that Friday the 13th week thing. That's what I think is going on. I think. Real Life with Michelle says, Ohio, we went from 60 degrees to snow. Isn't that crazy? Weather is so crazy. I was reading through our farm journal today when I was sitting in my chair, and we've kept a journal of our farm since, I think we started the journal in 2014. We moved here in 2011. But we started the journal in 2014, so it's really fun to go through and read. Oh, guess what? In March of 2014, this is what was happening. In May of it's crazy to see how we will melt, and then all of a sudden there will be snow again, and it will freeze, and then it will be 70, and then it's just, weather is crazy. And I don't think that's just a Minnesota thing. There are some people in Minnesota that will be like, yeah, that's a Minnesota thing. No, I think that happens everywhere. Not that everybody gets snow, but that crazy, like back and forth. And, you know, it's like Mother Nature has to like figure herself out and then get to the next season, and hopefully doesn't skip the whole next season. So what do we got here? Oh, I see pizza. Oh, our cabin in the woods says, I'm going to try the pizza soup. And then, yes, Samson Farm says pizza is the perfect food. Pizza is the perfect food. If I could eat pizza every day, I would. But if I ate pizza every day, I wouldn't be able to get out of this chair because I would be like 5 gazillion pounds. So Copper Kettle Farms asks, do you ever have people up there that say Minnesota? Minnesota? I don't think so. It's mostly Minnesota. Minnesota. Long vowels for days. Vowels for days. It's crazy. The Lears made pizza tonight. That is awesome. Samson Farms has kept a farm journal for a long while. They are really fun to go through and read. And what I like about keeping a farm journal is that you're never going to remember what happened last year at this time. Like you always think, oh my gosh, it's so hot this year. I can't believe how fast we hit, you know, whatever temperature. And then you look back and you're like, oh yeah, the same thing that happened last year. Or, you know, so it's fun to go back and read that stuff. And I think it'll be a nice piece of history to look at some point. Mindful Homestead can vouch for the banana bread recipe as well. Yes. Do y'all like the cooking videos? Here's the thing. Like I make the cooking, I'm always in the kitchen, right? And so I figure if I'm going to cook or I'm going to bake, I might as well set up my camera. And then, but like my Farmish Friday or the videos that I put out on Friday, the silly videos, like they get a gazillion times more views. So I just want to make sure y'all are watching these cooking videos because that's good stuff. It's good stuff. More cooking. My boys like to cook. Everybody in this house likes to cook, so, and bake, and we're all very self-sufficient when it comes to the kitchen. So, yeah, it's great. The kitchen is always running here. Morning, noon, night, overnight. We have kind of a crazy family here. So there's probably never a time in this house that there's not someone awake. So it's very good that they know how to cook because I'm certainly not awake that late at night to cook for them. So, but I like to cook. I love to be in the kitchen. I would have been a fabulous like 1940s housewife. So, Rockinade Farm says, I get fat just watching Amy's cooking videos. Then I need to make some more veggie cooking videos or something. More healthy cooking videos, right? I'm sure I know how to make something healthy, right? Oh my goodness, this chat is so fun. Samson Farm says, I love cooking videos, especially the bean brownies and the calling the boys down. You know, if my boys know that I am cooking, I know that food is not going to last very long. So my boys are, you might have saw one in one of the videos that did the lives that didn't work. They are, let's see, my oldest will be 17 on Sunday. My youngest will be 16 3 weeks after that. Yes, my boys are very close in age. But it's just funny because if they know that I'm cooking, they're like waiting, you know, and they're always hungry because teen boys are always hungry, right? So it's just crazy. I was making, we got home from the gym today and I had chicken stew in the crock pot and I had made a banana caramel cake earlier. So that's what we were going to have for supper. And so yeah, like I walked in and I like opened the thing of stew because we're going to, and he's like immediately at the counter. He's like, is it eating time? I'm like, where do you put all this food that you eat? Like you probably just had, you know, like 4 ham sandwiches or something. It's crazy. It's amazing how they're so hungry and they eat and they eat and they eat. And I swear they don't have an ounce of fat on them. I tell them that's going to catch up with them someday. Enjoy it now. Enjoy it now. Because it will catch up with you. I saw someone, Thomas Farm, Okie, how many live there? Are you asking me? It's my hubby and my 2 boys and me. So my parents used to live here for a few years. They shared this home with us for a while. And now they're in their own places. So it's just the 4 of us and 3 dogs. But yeah, the kitchen is always cooking. My boys, I'm 5'4", and everybody else that lives in this house is over 6 foot. So they eat a lot of food. So yes, yes. What else we got going on here? Sunny's Place. I have a teenage daughter and an 11-year-old gymnast. They're always hungry. Yeah. I can't imagine if not that my boys aren't active, but if they were like hardcore into like sports, I can't imagine the food they would put away. It's insane. It's insane. Samson Farms. My 10-year-old girl is always hungry as well. Hungry. I used to always be hungry too. I wish I could eat like I did when I was, 13, 17, 22. I can't eat like that anymore. All right. Oh, what else? Trying to make sure I'm not missing anything in the chat here. This is going to take some getting used to. Now that I got the microphone figured out, we can handle this live thing, but it's crazy to get used to this chat thing. I am very excited because I have baby chicks coming the end of March, so I am super excited. I had a video, oh gosh, I don't know, was it last month? The month, I don't even know, about how we got rid of all of our animals last fall. And so right now on the farm, all we have is barn cat and we have our dogs. We don't have any chickens. We don't have turkeys. We don't have ducks. We don't have pigs. We don't have anything. We got rid of everything last fall with the intention that we would start again in the spring. So I, like in the beginning of getting rid of all that, it felt like a kind of a weight off my shoulders. And you can go find that. I think it's starting over on the homestead, or we got rid of all our animals. I can't remember what I called it for YouTube, and what it was for my podcast, but it was crazy because in the beginning, like it felt like, okay, like it's going to be so nice to not have these chores over the winter. And then it didn't take long till I was like, okay, I want some animals. And it's been 11 years, I think, since we haven't had animals. So this has been a really interesting year. But it's good. So we have, let's see, I got my list here of everything I ordered. So let me tell you what's coming to the farm. Let's see, March, I think it's March 25th. These should be arriving. I don't know if I should give you the numbers, because here's the thing. My husband doesn't know what I've ordered yet. And he may be creeping on this live feed. He's supposed to be at work. I mean, he is at work, but he could be creeping on this. He could be. I don't know. And so if you're watching, darling, these are the numbers of the items that I have ordered. 4 egg birds I have ordered. 5 barred rocks. 5 calico princess. 5 prairie bluebell. 5 midnight majesty morans. 5 California white. Yes, sassy Amy is being sneaky. No, just a little bit, but and then he 50 Cornish cross. I think he knows about that because that's what I always order. And then 12 turkeys. That's what we're getting. That's what's coming to the farm in, what is that, like 2 weeks? So excited. So we will also get pigs, and the person that we normally get our pigs from will not have pigs this year, so we can't get pigs from them. So we are going to get them from someone else we used to get pigs from, but that'll probably be a couple months out. So I'm excited. I'm excited to have animals here again. I'm excited to be able to do chores again. Isn't that crazy? Because like you can get sometimes you're just like, oh my gosh, it's so much work and it's slow, but yeah, I'm excited to get back to it. Yes. Along the River Homestead, how long will the 50 meat birds last, you guys? That's usually a year. I usually figure 2 a week or 1 a week. I can't do math. So 1 a week. But we have raised as many as, I think the most we ever did was 150. And the intention was that, we were going to sell to people we knew. And so we we did that, and we might go back to that. I needed to get better at, the chat is distracting me. Chris from Rockinade Farm is saying, Amy needs no enabling. Yes, yes. But what I found out in raising birds for other people is you really have to, or raising anything for other people, is you really have to keep track of like costs and what's going on, so you know how to price them. And my issue was always that, because I'm cheap, like I'm a cheap person. And so it's that whole money thing where like, I know kind of what it costs, to like raise this, but then to tack on, profit for myself, and then to go, oh, it's going to cost you this much pound to buy this bird. And then you're like, here's my 7-pound chicken, because we raised them really big one year. Here's my 7-pound chicken, and it costs X amount of dollars. And I always felt like people would be like, what? But since we have, since then we've realized, there's a lot of people out there that will pay decent money for meat. So we need to be more open to the idea of selling to people, because people ask us, they're like, we'll buy your extra. And I have to realize that people actually mean what they say. So, yeah. All right. What do we got going here? The Lears have oh, I missed that. It went away. We only have 30 birds. 150 is a lot. Well, I have very hungry boys here, and we have people over to eat, and we go through a lot of food here. I feel like we go through a lot of food, but it's good food. We're eating well. We're eating healthy food. We're eating, food that was raised correctly. So, yeah, it's good. It's okay. It's okay to eat a lot of food. Mindful Homestead. I hate when we do batches of 150. We do 30 in the spring and 30 in the fall now. That batch of 150, I think we did, I'm trying to think, was it 50 and 100 or 75 and 75? It might have been like 50 for us and then 100 to sell. I don't remember. It wasn't 150 all at once, I don't think, but because here's the other thing, we butcher ourselves, so we don't send anything away. And so to me, the decision about how much to raise, whether it's pigs or chickens or ducks or turkeys or anything, part of that decision has to be, we realize that we're the ones that are going to be butchering and processing and doing all of that, and trying to fit that, especially as my kids get older, like trying to say, okay, we need this chunk of time to be able to process this. And so look at the calendar now, like when do we have everybody available, and to have all hands on deck to do that. And we're kind of in a stage of life right now, especially with the boys getting older, that gets a little trickier. But yeah, I mean, I could raise a ton of animals here, and I'd be happy to do that. It's just that whole processing thing that kind of makes the final decision for us. So let's see. Real Life with Michelle is waiting for my husband to chime in. I don't know if he would say anything if he was watching. He'd just be like, I'd probably get a Snapchat on my phone or something. He'd be like, Amy? He's like, we don't need that many birds. No, he would just be like, that's probably what he'd do. And then I'd smile, and then we'd go about our business. So, this is kind of how it works. Me and You Acre says, I just realized why my internet is so choppy at the moment. Hubby is watching Netflix, and we have country satellite internet. Yeah, sometimes if my boys are heavily involved in a game, an online game, then it's like, wait a second, where'd all the internet go? We actually have really good internet for where we live. We did not when we first moved here. It was not good at all. And then it's much better now. So let's see. Copper Kettle Farms. Got to get the frozen raccoon out of the freezer to fit in more meat birds. Okay, I have to ask, are you serious about that? Are you making fun of me because I just told everybody how scared I was of raccoons? Are you bringing that up for that reason, or do you really have raccoon in your freezer? I've never had raccoon to eat. I've got a lot of things to eat, but I've never had raccoon. Is raccoon good? What does it taste like? I hate raccoons. But that was already in a video. We've already hashed through that in a live chat and a video. So oh boy. Oh my gosh, this chat. You guys are so funny. What else can I tell you about? I told you about supper, told you about the chicks coming. I'm so excited. So yeah, this year we will have the egg birds, the meat birds, the ducks. I'm not getting ducks from our hatchery. I actually have someone I'm going to go get muscovies from. They're really hard to find here in Minnesota. And I think that's really funny because a lot of people say, my chat isn't moving now, I just realized. I'm like, how come nobody's talking? Wait a second. Oh, hey, everybody is talking. I'm just not getting it. Now I forgot what I was going to say, because now Samson Farm says she really has a raccoon. Oh my word, what if I have nightmares tonight? This is crazy. Raccoon makes good barbecue, says Samson Farms. Oh boy. Let's see. Rockin' 8 Farm wants to know, why did you start a podcast, Amy? Why did I start a podcast? I have always liked to speak. I have spoken about, I used to like speak to moms groups and parenting groups when my kids were little. Some of you know, some of you might not know, I actually have another website called the Homeschooling Mom. So like the homeschooling mom, but instead of home, it's HMMM, schooling mom. Because we homeschooled our kids, homeschool, I guess technically they're not done yet. And so I had a site about that, and I would go speak a lot of places about that. And so it wasn't anything that I did for a farmish kind of life. I wasn't really going and speaking, but podcasting became a thing. And I thought, oh, this is a way that I can speak about homesteading. So that's why I started the podcast. I basically said to the 3 guys that live here with me, I said, I want to start a podcast. And they were like, cool. And I was like, how do I do that? And they're like, we'll figure it out, because they're my tech people. And so, yeah, we actually switched my office from one side of the house to the other. And yeah, so I'm in here, and I remember sitting and kind of looking at everything that they had set up for me. And I'm like, okay, so what do I do now? Like, now I have to be brave and actually do this podcasting. So yeah, that's why I started a podcast. I love speaking. I love podcasting. I love writing. I love making videos. I like doing all that. It kind of gets me back to my my theater days, because that was really where I was thinking of going, was theater. That was my thing. Theater, acting, stage, singing, all of that stuff. And now I'm here on a homestead. Jess, tell me why you so awesome. You're so silly. Samson Farms. I'm surrounded by mini donkeys. I can sneak one to you. Oh, the little baby donkeys. Am I getting horses? We used to have horses. And we had them for probably, I don't know, 3 years. When we moved to the farm, the one thing I wanted was goats. The one thing my husband wanted was horses. And we have now been here since 2011, and we no longer have horses and we no longer have goats. So that's how that went. I wouldn't say that I would never get goats again. It wasn't a good fit for the time. And we, as far as the horses, my husband, like, he got the horses and he was all excited to ride and do all this stuff. And then he got promoted at work, and suddenly he didn't have as much time. And so they ended up being these horses that were just sitting in the pasture, like, and so we gave them to other people who could spend more time with them. So that's that. What else? Cooper Family Home says, I love our goats. I want a horse. I'm not opposed to goats. I mean, it's not like that it was a horrible experience. It just, we don't have enough room to make our own hay here. And at the time that we had horses and goats, hay was so so ridiculously expensive. And there was just other stuff going on too. And you're just like, this is not the correct choice for us. So, good night along the river homestead. Thanks for stopping by. 4:30 a.m. does come early. You are correct. Yes. KBL Texas Homestead. How do I like homeschooling? It worked really well for us. We decided to homeschool kind of because of my husband's job and his schedule, but also because I just wanted to. You've met me now. And so if I get an idea in my head, I'm like, yeah, I think I'll try that. It might work, might not. I'll do this live thing. It might work, it might not. The microphone might not turn on for the first 2 lives. But yeah, it was just something we decided to try. And it was always with the intention that, what if it doesn't work, we'll just send them to school. I'm not anti-public school. My kids always had the option to go to public school. I would ask them every single year, do you want to go to public school? And they were always like, nope, we'll stay home. And so, yeah, it worked well. I'm not going to say it was perfect. Obviously, there were things, that were frustrating, or times it was like, oh, what am I doing? I'm going to put you on the big yellow bus. But by and large, very positive experience. So I'm glad that we did it. It's kind of made us who we are. So, yeah, it's been good. Oh no, Hidden Oaks Homestead. My connection is so lagging. Country living. Yes. The lyrics, stay home and eat mom's cooking. Yeah. I had a friend who actually said to my boys, you have no idea how good you have it because you've never had a school lunch. Like, your school lunches where you go to school are just amazing. I'm like, yeah, because most of the time now my boys cook for themselves, so they will do very well on their own. They have some skills. So, what else? Beth Parsons, look, 3 minutes after 9, and you're not turning into pumpkin, Amy. I know. I'm so proud of myself. It's probably this coffee that I'm drinking at 9 o'clock at night. I mean, what even is that? The Lears. Mom is their date to the senior prom. No. The funny thing about prom is my husband never went to prom. I never went to prom. We were not homeschooled. We both went to public school, and neither of us went to prom. And like, my boys are like, prom, like. So that's never even been it's weird. It's having kids who are have always been homeschooled, and I would say the way that we homeschooled is a little different maybe than a lot of people think about homeschooling. So if you know anything about homeschooling, there's homeschooling and there's unschooling, which is a little less structured, and so that's definitely where we are. But it's really interesting how it just like shapes your family into this certain thing. And it just, it's crazy. Rock and Aid Farm. Again, my daughters cannot see your boys. Ah, yeah, well. 13 Moons Homestead. We unschooled all our kids. Only one went to a prom. Samson Farms unschooled. Samson Farms, I didn't know you homeschooled or unschooled. I didn't know that. I'm learning so much tonight. Yeah, we're total unschoolers. Total unschoolers. The Lears. We homeschooled, but their teachers sucked. We fired them. I hated teaching math. I don't like math. Definitely don't like math. And here's the other thing. So my boys, so in Minnesota, there's this program called PSEO, where once you get to 11th and 12th grade, high school, junior and senior, you can do college for free. So you can actually earn a 2-year degree at a college if you do enough time. You can actually do that for free. It's a program we have. I know they have similar things in other states, but that's how ours runs. So my oldest, who is technically, like, I have to think about it because it's homeschooling. So I'm like, I don't, what are the grades? So he's technically a high school junior. So he started online college actually at a local college here. So that's been interesting to see like the transition, from being unschooled to now you're at college and you're doing it online, but it's college, and just seeing how different it is to have 5 different teachers who all run their classroom a totally different way. And some classes that are super interesting and they're really into, and other classes they're like, why is this required for a general's degree? Like, why is this even a thing? So it's been interesting to see the transition. So Trekkie gal, love PSEO. I graduated from my local community college 10 days before I graduated high school. Nice. Yeah, it's an awesome program. I went PSEO as a senior in high school. I wish I would have went as a junior, but yeah, went as a senior. It was great. I think I would have went nuts if I would have stayed at school. I was kind of ready to be done with that and to move on and like be an adult and like do the things. So it's a really great option for people who want it. So yeah. Oh my gosh, making lemonade from lemons. I do a little of the unschooling with my youngest. My other 2 are homeschooled with a Charlotte Mason approach. There are so many different ways to do it too. And I find, we started back in 2007 and now it's 2020. And so, it really was just like shaping what the kids needed. Because there were sometimes we were way more structured because I think that's what the kids needed. And there were other times it was like, no, I don't want to be like, we were just like, whatever, but way less structured than they would have been if, they were in school. So it's cool to like just be able to morph it into what they need at whatever time. So Sunny's Place, we have the A+ program. The chat's moving up. We have the A+ program in Missouri. If you qualify, you get 2 years free. Yep. That must be junior college, JUCO. Yeah. They have some really cool programs out there. So Emily Fortel, I may have missed this part. How do you get your kids to love the farm as much as you? That's a good question. I would say the kids don't love the farm as much as I do. I would say the farm is my project. It's definitely my project. When my kids were little, I would say it was much more exciting to be part of the farm. It's fun to go out and help mom collect eggs. It's fun to go out and help mom pick stuff in the garden. It's fun to help, go out and do that. And now my boys, because they're almost 16 and almost 17, they have their own stuff. And yeah, they're very helpful. Like, it's butcher day. We need all hands on deck. I need you to watch the farm because I need to go do this. They're very helpful. I don't want it to sound like they're not helpful, but given a choice, I don't think like they'd want to hang out on the farm all day and deal with all the animals and all that. So they are here because, they are helpful because it's part of being a family, but the homestead is definitely my project. And I'm the one who's kind of like, hey, we should do this cool thing. Hey, we should, so yeah. Oh, in Washington State, 13 Moons Homestead says in Washington State, it's called Running Start. In Oregon, we have is it Oregon or Oregon? Sorry, I'm thinking of a joke someone told me about the state, which is mostly after high school, but still 2 years free mostly. Yeah, so many different super cool programs. Rockinade Farm. Chris wants to know, Amy, do you have these shirts in a crop top? My belly needs to breathe. The shirts that I currently have for sale are not available in a crop top, but you can make it a crop top. If that would make you feel more beautiful and more able to breathe, do it. Totally do it. Yeah, I have shirts that are available until March 11th, I think. This one then will go to print. I'll be designing some more, but it probably won't be for another month. So if you want to get in on, I'll stand up and show you. Let's see, Farmish Life, Best Life. Is that backwards for you? It's probably backwards for you. But yeah, so lots of different styles, lots of different colors. So if you want one of those, hop over to the links that my fabulous moderators are putting up. I should give them a shout out. I keep making fun of Chris from Rockinade Farms, but he is awesome and amazing and wonderful. And I thank him for being here tonight. He's actually the reason this got scheduled and actually happened, because he was like, Amy, you need to do this. And I was like, no, I had like 47 different kinds of excuses. And he's like, no, you just need to do it. You just need to go live and do it the first time and just, yeah. So that's why we're here tonight. It took 3 times, but it was Chris and it was Jess, and they were instrumental in getting me on here finally. And Copper Kettle Farms, Crystal at Copper Kettle Farms is here, and I thank you for walking me through some tech issues and my when I messaged you earlier and was like, wait a second. So thanks to them. So if you are not following them, you should. And my favorite thing to do during live, y'all, I'm from Minnesota and I say y'all, is to go through that fabulous chat. And if there are people you are not following, you need to go to the channel and you need to check them out. And if they look like someone you need to follow, you should follow them. You should subscribe. And yeah, it's so fun to be a part of the YouTube community now, because it's a very different community than like the blogging community. Because, I have the website at farmishkindoflife.com. I started that like in 2009. So I've had that for quite a while. So there's that community, and then there's a podcasting community, which is totally different. And then there's the YouTube community, which is awesome. So you guys are fabulous. 13 Moons Homestead says lives are the best way to find new friends. Find new friends. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely agree with you. Let's see. Cooper Family Homestead. It's fun after the first time. Meaning this getting the first live under your belt. You did your first one today, didn't you? Did I watch your first one today? I believe I did. Yeah, good fun. Good fun. It's nice to get the first one out of the way and figure out what the heck is wrong with your microphone. I'm glad that was figured out. So I'll probably be on here another 20 minutes. We'll go for an hour, I think. Oh, thanks, Mama Z. She says, I'm doing so good. I actually don't have a problem going live. What I really like about YouTube and the way they have it set it up is that there's moderators. So a long time ago, like I mentioned, I had this website, or I still have this website for homeschooling, but I'm just not as active on it anymore because we're kind of towards the end of our journey. And so I don't feel like I have a lot to say about it anymore. I feel like I have a lot of experience I can share with people, but like the day-to-day of it, there's really nothing to share. And it's not my story so much anymore. I think when your kids are little, then you can be like, oh, this is this cool thing we did today. But now I have kids who are old enough to have like their own online personas because they're both musicians. So I don't feel like I should be online talking about, oh, my super cool kid and look what he did. Unless I'm in like a Farmish Life in 5 and I decide that I'm going to do a little mom brag about some of my kids and their music. But anyway, back in the day, on Twitter, there used to be something called Periscope, which was basically this, but on Twitter. And they didn't have moderators or anything like that. And oh my word, you would get on there and immediately the trolls would come and the chats would just like go down the drain. And it was horrible. And I had a little bit of PTSD from that. Chris had to talk me through that too. So thank you. Oh, Copper Kettle Farms remembers Periscope. Yeah, Periscope. I feel old when I say things like that. Periscope. Oh my gosh. Remember Periscope? It's crazy. I don't remember where I was going with that. Something about lives and something about, I don't know. The Mindful Homestead. Wait, Periscope is gone? Oh, I don't even know. I assume it is. I haven't seen anybody I use it, but I'm not very active on Twitter. So Copper Kettle Farm says, I think it's still around. Okay. I have people trying to offer me 4-year-olds if I want to start over. My favorite age of kids, actually. So this will sound horrible, but I'm not a baby person. I love my babies, but I'm not like, like some people are, oh, babies. That's not me. I am all about the 3 and 4-year-old. Like when they start getting that personality and that like I'm all about that, which is probably why I really like teenagers too, because it's that whole thing over again. So yeah, I was actually scared to have 2 boys because I knew they were going to turn into teenage boys. And I was like, how am I going to deal with that? It's been amazing. I love it. I love it. I feel like I live in a house full of men, and yeah, I love it. It's great. Beth Parsons, I enjoyed this, Amy, but I'm drinking water instead of coffee and I'm falling asleep. Great job. Thank you, Beth. Thank you for hanging out. It's a tough time. It's a tough night to do this because there was that whole everybody lost an hour of sleep, especially if you had animals or little kids who are like, yeah, I don't care that the clock changed. I don't care. You're still getting up, which is what my dogs did. So oh boy. 13 Moons Home said, I am a baby person. Probably sounds weird, but I love the smell of their heads when they're tiny. I do get that. And I loved mom babies. Like I was just a kind of mom, but only with my babies. I was like, yeah, I don't want to hold your baby. Kind of weird. Kind of weird. Oh. Everybody loves babies. That's okay. You can send me your 3 and 4-year-olds and I'll send you, well, I'm not having any more babies, so I don't need to worry about sending you any babies, but I will take your 3 and 4-year-olds. Absolutely. Absolutely. What else can we talk about here? I thought I had one more thing that I could talk about. I did get, my eldest son and I went shopping. Was it yesterday? The churches in the area were having a bunch of garage sales. And so we decided we were going to go out and look for treasures. And it was great. And I've already mentioned I'm pretty cheap. And so the church garage sales that happen, whatever this weekend is in March, first weekend of March, it must be like something with spring break. Can you tell I'm a homeschooler? Because I'm like, is it spring break right now? I don't even know. I don't know. But we went to these garage sales, and the great thing is like this is where I get my clothes for the year. So I got like this bag of clothes for $20, and it was great. Do you guys love shopping at garage sales? Because I do. That's where I get my stuff. There's very few things that I spend actual legit money on. What do I spend money on? I spend money on decent food, I suppose. People would say that I spend money on my farm. So I guess that works. I also am a fan of firearms. And so anything that has to do with that, I spend money on. But I have to save my money, obviously, to have money to spend on other things. So clothes are just like, I don't really care. I don't care about clothes. Except awesome t-shirts like the one that I'm wearing. Other than that, yes. Copper Kettle Farms. I haven't been to a garage sale in forever. I need to go to one. They just started up here. Obviously, they don't happen in the winter because of the snow and everything, and nobody goes anywhere. The state kind of is like, well, I don't want to go anywhere. But yeah, it's super fun, when they start up for the year, and we have, like neighborhood garage sales here. So, you just park your car and you walk in a neighborhood, and it's great. I'm finding the older that I get, the more that I like garage sales and the less that I like thrift stores, because thrift stores, especially the ones around here, are just, holy moly, they charge through the nose for stuff. It's insane. Is it like that where you all live? Because, oh my gosh, I just feel like in the last 5 years, it's been like the prices at the thrift stores are insane. Insane. Oh no. Error 505, I don't know who you are, but I have a hi, Simon's mom. Hey, Simon's friend. I don't know. What's up? Oh man. Trekkie gal. Yes, thrift stores have gone crazy. They've gone crazy. And it's like to the point where you walk into the store and you're like, I can buy this brand new at a store for $1 more than what you're trying to sell it for here, and it has a hole in it. Like I I like the concept of reusing. I like the concept of you're done wearing this, you're done with this, and it will fit me. So I'm going to wear it on the farm until it kind of just falls apart. I like that. But man, some of those prices are just insane. So then that just makes me crabby. So. Sunny Place. Yeah, thrift stores and antique malls have figured out people are buying crap to turn it over. That's what I had heard too, that a lot of people are just like, we're going to raise our prices because we know you're going to take this and you're going to sell it. So, oh, Real Life with Michelle. I bought all new Christmas decorations at garage sales last year, had enough to share with my kids. How awesome is that? And how much money did you save? Yeah, we haven't bought new, like, I'm not big on decorating anyway. If we decorate for any holidays, it's mostly Halloween because we really love Halloween. But going to a store to replace decorations or to like upgrade is like, what? But yeah, it's so funny because once it's done with that season, you will have people like, oh, I don't want this anymore. Because they're going to go to the store and buy the new thing, right? So you're like, I'll buy it at your garage sale. It's awesome. It's awesome. Rockinade Farm. Every time he posts a message, I'm like, what is he going to say? Chris wants to know if I have tent camping available on my property because Jess wants to take a road trip. I have a hayloft. You probably have to share it with raccoons. I wouldn't put a tent in my yard right now because it would float. But yeah, I mean, we've got 5 acres here and we're surrounded by fields that we don't own, but the person who owns them is kind of never around. So, you know, hey, why not? Minnesota road trip. Countryside Acres Homestead. We've never done a live yet and don't understand how it all works. Well, don't watch the first 2 that I tried to do. I'm going to have to go and delete those so they're not sitting up on my channel. But once you get it to work, it's pretty easy. Hopefully you can have someone who can walk you through it. You absolutely, you could probably talk to Copper Kettle Farms. You can talk to Rockinade Farm. You can talk to me. They're probably way better at it than I am, but, yeah, once you work out the bugs, it's actually pretty sweet. So everybody's talking about the raccoons again now. Oh my gosh. You guys, that was, it was so scary, you guys. It was like, I remember, so we were sitting in the front yard and the barn that I showed in that video is our meat bird barn. And so my son, I mean, this is probably 5-6 years ago. And so we're sitting in our front yard and I can hear this screaming and like commotion in the meat bird barn. And I'm like, what in the world is going on over there? Oh, we go in there. So yeah, this whole raccoon thing is happening while we have meat birds in that barn. I failed to mention that in the video, but oh my word, like, and the screeching of these raccoons, like, it's horrible. And 2 boys love to tease me about these raccoons relentlessly. They're going to pay someday, let me tell you. You know what they say about paybacks? Yes. Oh my gosh. Mindful Homestead, don't mind me. I'll just be choking with Chris and the raccoons in the hayloft, but he really meant to say chilling in the hayloft. I mean, hey, whatever. It's fine. There's a lot of room in the hayloft. So yeah, we could do something with this. Sunny's Place says she hates raccoons. Yep. Indeed. 13 Moons Homestead says, I have to tell you, I look forward to your Friday vlog every week already. Makes me smile. I'm having so much fun making those. And let me tell you why I started doing those. I need a drink of coffee. So you don't realize when you talk all the time, like, you know, how dry your mouth gets. So the reason I started doing the Farmish Life in 5 is way back, like 2009, 2010, when I first had my website. This is before Facebook was really a thing in the sense that pages would like be on like businesses or like farms. Like people were on Facebook, but that wasn't something you would have like your farm on or your homestead. So blogs were more like what you would post on Facebook now. And so every Sunday I would do something called Sunday Scribbles, and it was 5 things that had happened during the week. And people loved reading those because they were short and because sometimes they were funny, but like they were short. It was a short read. And so I thought, how can I do that for YouTube? To just do something that would be easy to watch. It would move fast. It would be short, and it'd be like, it would move you through the week and be like, this is what happened. Okay, now I feel like I'm caught up. And so I came up with that. And it seems to be something that people are really liking, because like my views on those videos are like, boom! And I'm loving making them. I just have to remember to bring my camera with me like all over all the time. And I'm like, oh yeah, I can probably put that in the video. And it's so fun. I actually really like editing videos. Some people don't like editing videos, but I like editing videos. So I'm finding those are super fun to get together or to put together. So I am glad to hear that you guys are liking those, because they are so fun. Love them. What else? We only got about 4 more minutes probably here. Rockin' A Farm, I do not want a pet raccoon. And I will tell you, we used to have a pet raccoon when I was growing up. My mom was like big into like rescuing animals. And so we always had crazy things in our house and lots of animals in our house and, where we lived. And so we did, for a very short time, have a raccoon in our house in a cage. And I thought it was great because I was a little girl and I said, oh, we have this raccoon. I did not know what horrors awaited me when I moved to my homestead. Yes. Let's see. Trekkie gal, my kids 3 and 1 love Farmish and 5, mostly your dogs and cats though. Well, they are pretty cute. Yeah, the 2 gray ones that are super, super fluffy, we call those the baby lions. So I'm like, where can we put the baby lions in this week to the Farmish 5? Real life with Michelle, did you grow up on a homestead? I did not. My husband grew up in town. I didn't necessarily grow up on a homestead. I grew up on 12 acres, but we were in city limits. So a lot of the stuff that you would think you'd be able to do like on a homestead or having a piece of property, we couldn't, because we actually had to follow the rules of the city. So, it was cool, and it was lots of woods. So it was like woods and trails, and there was a creek that went through it, and it was beautiful. I loved it. But yeah, not a homestead. Didn't have what we're doing now when I was growing up. So yeah. 13 Moons Homestead. I like editing more now that I figured out Premiere a little bit. Yeah. That's what I used to. And so that's fun. Oh my gosh, fucking. Oh, let's see. Gotta run. People got thank you, the Lears, for hopping in here. Thank you so much for coming. I love that you guys came, and I especially love it because it was kind of a pain in the butt in the beginning, but you stuck through. So thanks for that. I was like, if this 3rd one does not work, I am not doing this. But it worked, and you guys were here, so that's great. Our cabin in the woods, thanks for the live with me. It was a lot of fun. Yay! Next time we will have some topics, and we'll start right away instead of having 20 minutes of difficulties. I thought there was one thing that I missed that I wanted to. Rockin' A Farm, do you have plans to make Farmish men's undergarments like your t-shirts? I don't think so. I don't think actually through Bonfire that is an option. If it ever is, I'll let you know. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay. The Mindful Homestead. I worry about what exactly makes a men's undergarment Farmish. Right. All right. So it looks like we probably should sign off here. We're at just about an hour. So this was super fun. I am bummed out that we had that little technical glitch in the beginning. But again, thank you for hanging out and like sticking through it. And next time we will have this all figured out, and it will be fabulous. And we'll think of some great things to talk about. I don't know when the next time is I will go live. That was the other thing I was going to say. A lot of people will be like, I go live on Sundays at 8 o'clock and that's my time. And because of the way our house is set up, and like, especially with my husband's job, that's not how our house works. And so I will switch around the times that I'm doing live. I might go live really early in the morning. I might go live, some random day of the week, but I always let you know. So there's a little bit of time for you to be able to be like, hey, let's go see if Amy's microphone works this time. So anyway, thank you for being here and hanging out in this live. Thank you for the encouragement. Thank you for all your awesomeness. And we will do this again soon. Have a good night.